Hey guys, we're going to talk to you about a website called UserTesting, and all you have to do to sign up is put your email address and hit the green sign me up button. After that happens, they send you an email right back, and it has a sample test for you to do that basically shows you how you'll do these tests, where you just have to follow basic directions using your mic and test out a site.
Okay, and up here it says earn up to $60 per test. That is a little bit misleading. It is up to $60, but most of your tests are going to be paying $10 for approximately 20 minutes. Some of them are shorter than 20 minutes, some of them maybe 10 minutes. The $60 tests are usually an hour long and they are live. And instead of you just using your screen recorder and your microphone, you will for the $60 test, most of the time you will be live and you will have to be using a camera. And they are also not available as often as the $10 tests. The $10 tests are much easier, they're frequently available, and you can qualify for a lot more of them. And also you get paid through PayPal, and it's legit. And we both take these tests, so we know that this is not a scam.
Yes, and the pay is 7 days exactly after you complete your test. And one more thing, don't lie to qualify for the test. Be very truthful, because it's just not worth it. You'll lose rating and you won't get any tests. And also you'll waste your time because you won't get paid.
Yeah, so if there's a test and it says in the qualifying questions it asks you, do you work in IT, but you're actually, let's say, a music teacher, you know, some of the questions they're going to be asking you on that test are going to be specific to someone who's in the industry. So they will know if you're lying just to qualify for a test, and you'll either not get paid, you might get kicked off the platform, or you'll get a bad rating. And if you get bad ratings, then you won't qualify for as many tests. So just don't do it. Okay, so we're going to be doing a fake test to show you what it's like when you sign up for user testing. So usually you'll get a website. This website is Carfax.com. We're just using it as an example. So we're going to go through this website and we're going to give you some of the typical kinds of questions that you would be asked and some of the tasks that they will have you do if you're doing a real test. The test can be on websites, on your computer. They can be sometimes on your cell phone or sometimes on a tablet. You'll know which device you need to use before you accept the test. It'll let you know, and if you don't have that device, then you can't do that test. Okay, so we're going to imagine we just accepted a test for reviewing the website Carfax.com. And this is like a typical set of questions and tasks they will ask you to do. So the first question will be something like this. Take a look at this site. Don't click anything. Just scroll around and tell us, what do you think of the site? What is the purpose? What are some things you can do on this website? So I would say something like this. I would say, okay, so I'm looking at the website. I'm noticing that it's mostly about used cars. It says you can find used cars, get a Carfax report. You can look at cars based on, or search for cars for sale based on the make. So this one, you can look for Audis or Lincolns. And so far I'm not seeing anything besides used cars. You can get a Carfax report. You can get reminders on when your car is due for service, and you can check your car for safety recalls. So this looks like a site where you are looking mostly for buying a car, looking at car maintenance, and researching things about your car or your potential car. So that will be an example of a question. Now, there are some times where there are going to be multiple questions all bunched into one, and there will be a box somewhere around here on your screen where you can look for the questions that they're asking you in that step, so you don't have to memorize every question. You can look up here if you forget whatever they're asking you, and it's always there on your screen. Okay, so something else they would ask would be, what do you think about the appearance of our website?
Yeah, still want to know, basically, you want to speak your mind and be very descriptive and say if the website is very simple, if the graphics are easy to see, is the text, hard on the eyes, do they need to be bigger or anything. Just be very specific about like all the things, like all the buttons you click on the website.
Okay, so in this case, I would say something along the lines of this website looks very clean, very simple, very colorful. Everything that you would need to potentially click on is either in an area where you would expect to see it, like in a navigation bar, or it stands out as these buttons do. Big, colorful, bold buttons where you really wouldn't be confused about what to do or where to look. So that's like a sample answer you would give for that question. So something else they would do is give you a prompt, tell you to do a task on the site. So for example, they would say, click on used cars for sale in the top menu bar. Pretend you're looking for a Rolls-Royce Phantom in the zip code 90210. Click through until you see the results page. So in that case, even though this is not a question, you still need to make sure that you're talking. Don't just go clicking and then click next. You need to explain what you're doing and why you're doing it and what you're seeing. So I would say something like this. I am clicking up in the bar on used cars for sale. Okay, just open a new page. I know that I'm looking for a car based on the make and model. So I'm looking for a Rolls Royce, and I see that this looks like it's going to be a drop-down menu. Click that. Okay, I see this is in alphabetical order, so I'm looking for an R. All right, so I don't see it here. Okay, so this says popular make, so this must be not a popular car that people are looking for. So I'm looking under other makes. This is in alphabetical order as well. I see Rolls Royce here, so I'm clicking that. Okay, next I'm looking for the model. Again, another drop-down menu. Phantom right here. Okay, and then this one, they said 90210, so I'm going to be clicking in here and typing that in. All right, I saw that as soon as the numbers were entered, it came up with this green next button that lit up, so that drew my eye, and I will click here to see the results. Okay, I was expecting to see results here, but it brought me to another screen. It doesn't, the question didn't ask me to do anything with any of these options here, so I'm just going to click on show me results, and it looks like there are 13 results. All right, and it brought me to the results page. So that question, well, that prompt said to go to the results page, and so that's what you did. So again, the important part with something like that is that you need to make sure you're still talking, even though they did not ask you a question. You still need to talk your way through it so that they understand what you're thinking, what you're seeing, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. Okay, so the next thing would be another task, most likely. These vary, but this is like a good example of what they want you to do. So the task will be pretend that you only want to see results for the year 2014 and later. Find them with the filters menu. So I would do something like this. Okay, I'm looking on this site. My eye is drawn over here. So this is where I'm going to look for filters. Okay, I see filters here. This box has filters, but this doesn't have anything to do with the date, so I keep going. All right, so here's the year. I'm going to look for the year 2014 on this menu. Okay, so one thing I noticed here is that the older date is at the bottom and the most recent year is up top. I'm looking for 2014, so I'll click that. All right, and I'm looking for anything above newer than 2014. So I'll check here. Okay, I just tried to scroll intuitively, but I realized that this stops at 2015, so that must just be the results they have stop at 2015. So I'll click that. And nothing happened. Let me do that again. Okay. All right, so now I'm looking for like a submit. There is no submit button, so it must have just filtered the results automatically once I did that. All right. Okay, so that is the results for 2014 and later. So that's a typical test. At the end of the test, they will usually have some questions that they ask you, and you type them into the box. There will be a box that pops up that says the test is complete. Here are some questions. So some kind of questions that they might have.
They might ask you like what improvements could be made on the site to make this experience better, or or they may ask directly like what you didn't like about the site, or just say, or they may ask if everything was perfect. Just say it's perfect and you had no issues.
Yeah, and for those questions, usually you are not talking at this point anymore. Usually those are questions that you are typing into the box, and it will let you know. It'll be very clear whether you're supposed to be typing or talking. So that's basically the way the test is. One thing they almost do, I mean, one thing that they do almost all the time is actually, do you have any suggestions for us? That's the most common question that they have at the end. Okay, so once you type those questions in, you hit the submit button, and usually it takes a few minutes to submit the test because they have a screen recording and audio recording, so it's putting all of that in, and then it will tell you that you're done. And then you can look and see if there are any other tests available. Sometimes there are a lot of tests, sometimes there are a few tests. It really depends. You can just check it any time of the day when you have some free time, and so that makes it a good way, to make some extra money. It's a good side hustle. So that's how it is. So that seems like a pretty simple thing to do, and you get paid $10 just for 20 minutes of your time. So theoretically, you could be getting $30 an hour, but you don't qualify for every single test, so you just have to click on a test and see what happens.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a video on user testing. You can go to user testing. The link will be in the description just to sign up. It's very simple. Unless you are not following directions, you will get approved. So you just have to have an email address, PayPal account, and a microphone.